Hi, this is Gil Gerard, and this is Convention Scene UK. Be sure and watch.
Okay, I'm here in Edinburgh. I've just spent my first night here at the Hub by Premier Inn. Never stayed at one of these before. I've got to say, for the amount I paid for it, it's pretty good. I quite like it because you've got your Wi-Fi, and I mean, well, I'll just quickly show you. It's very tiny. It's very small. So basically, you walk in, you get a bathroom there, and then you've got your setup here. Oop. So your bed's literally there, and your TV's there, but it's a smart TV. It's got some movies and everything on it. You've got multiple USB ports, and you've got this little display board here. Let me see if I can do it. So you can do your do not disturb. You can switch the lights off down to, well, let's turn them on. So but you've got all your aircon and everything there, but it's very compact. But you get your, so for the 2 nights here, it cost me 135 quid, including breakfast. It's continental breakfast, but you know, it's alright, it's not bad. Right, I'm just gonna walk. I wanted to stay central of Edinburgh, so this is literally just off Princess Street. So I wanted to do a little wander through Edinburgh to the venue, so we'll get going. Right, okay, you can see it's extremely busy in here. Wow, I mean, as press here at Comic-Con Scotland, I am able to like go near the front and get some good shots of the guests that are coming in. But this here is just for David Hasselhoff at the moment for his photo op. Don't know whether I'm going to be able to speak to him. He seems particularly busy today, which was obviously to be expected, but I will try my hardest. I'm just overwhelmed with with like, I mean, just right over there. It's like, there's Lou. There's Lou and Neil, of course. Obviously, Neil's there. Okay, guys, we're here with Rex Smith, who is out of Street Hawk, and a number of other. Well, quite an extensive category of
Broadway recordings, platinum recording artists in here. They neglected to put a single picture of this original Daredevil too.
Oh.
Did you know that?
Yeah,
no,
that's
well,
one of my questions. That is one of my questions.
All right, well, just in case.
I tell you what, I'll go with that one first. While we're on the subject of Daredevil, how did it feel to play the very first Daredevil? And do you watch the new series? What do you think?
No, I don't watch the new series. Not out of anything. It's just I'm just not interested.
You're not interested.
I'd rather watch a John Wayne movie.
Oh right, no, well that's still good. That's still up there. Definitely.
But I didn't think of it. I didn't consider it. Hey, I'm the first. I just considered it an honor that I passed muster, that I was the choice. It was called a backdoor pilot for a TV series. It was an introduction. The movie Trial of the Incredible Hulk was to introduce my character for a series, and as it turned out, it tested great and everything, but it was an NBC show, and this has never happened. I don't know if it's ever happened in, like you said, many things in my life. ABC bought my contract so that I wouldn't make this show.
Right, okay.
Because they had The Flash coming out, and they didn't want the competition.
Ah, right. Okay.
And according to the contract that everybody, I don't know exactly what contracts are now, but just the boilerplate was they owned you for a year. But you're always a free man or woman by May when they decided what shows they were going to buy and sell. Well, mine was sold without ever going on TV, so for a year I couldn't work.
Really?
And I was offered the Young Riders and movies. I was hot pistol then, and for a year I couldn't work because contractually they froze my career. Oh, and I ended up doing dinner theater in Calgary. I was like a fugitive for a year.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, so imagine this. I've got the Daredevil coming up, but before I shoot my first year of Daredevil, I'm supposed to run to Spain and do 50 episodes of Zorro. And I ended up doing dinner theater. Neil Simon's, they're playing our song. Oh yeah, they're playing. At dinner theater with guys with buckets of beer going, there he is, honey. There's the guy you love. So,
and that was before Daredevil?
No, that was Daredevil's already filmed. Bill Bixby. I had my eye on a 1965 Porsche, one owner, 356, Super 90, rare car. I said, Bill, should I buy the car? He said, Rex, you tested off the charts. The audience loves the show and loves you. Buy the car. So I bought this car, and then, yeah, showbiz. Be ready for anything.
We've got a group member who's actually posted in to see if we can ask you this. She has asked, there has been reboots of Knight Rider, Battlestar Galactica, and if there was a reboot of Street Hawk, would you like to reprise the role?
I came close like 2 years ago to an interesting reboot with the surviving writer of the show. There was 2 writers. We had interest with FX. My interest was, and the sort of storyline we worked out was a bit like Speed Racer had Racer X, his big brother.
Right.
I was going to be, I had a son who would be the new Street Hawk, but he doesn't know that I ain't been around because I disappeared under a cloud of FBI looking for me, and I'm still there with Street Hawk. Whenever he got his irons in the fire, I pull him out, and I'm gone like the Lone Ranger, like, who was that man? But it's really his dad. And the producer got worried that I was going to cut him out, and he pulled the rights when we were getting real interest. Director, everything. But that's, you know, listen, it's not as crazy as being the Daredevil and not being able to work for a year, okay? I got other fish to fry.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought that was a wonderful way because I do feel that I mean, I'm 63, but you can still suit me up, and I could be believable as the dad waiting in the shadows to hit him with a laser or a rocket.
I think there'd be a lot of interest in it. I mean,
I do too.
There's a lot of talk. There was a lot of talk on conventions in UK of you attending.
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
Oh yeah,
Big
UK
fandom.
was a good one. That was nice.
A huge fandom for it.
Yeah, I know that.
One final question. Have you always wanted to sing?
I'm a singer first.
So,
I had 6 albums. I got a platinum and a gold. I signed with Columbia Records in 1976, 6-album deal. I had a band, Rex. I was managed by Aerosmith's management. I toured with Ted Nugent for 2 years. I played every Coliseum, Madison Square Garden, everything. Played the last concert with Leonard Skinner. It was me, Skinner, and Ted, my band Rex. And when I played Madison Square Garden, producers asked me to do a movie. I did this movie because I was off tour. I'd never done a movie. Did You Take My Breath Away, platinum, and became a bloody teen idol. I was like, how did that happen? I was being groomed to be Van Halen. and or Aerosmith, and when that happened, as exciting and crazy as it was, I knew anything that happened that quick would go away, and I discovered Broadway, and my first Broadway show I was the last original Danny Zuko in the original production of Grease. Then I did the revival. I've done Pirates of Penzance, Kevin Kline, Linda Ronstadt. You can find that movie. Sunset Boulevard, Zuko twice, Kiss Me Kate, Grand Hotel. I mean, it goes on and on. Each one of those shows on Broadway represents 6 to 9 months to a year of my life. So 30 years of my life has been 8 shows a week. That's one reason I'm in good kit. Really, it's kept me vibrant. I'm going into an adaptation of Love Actually, a musical.
Really? Playing
Billy Mack, and I'm a day late for rehearsal when I come from here. They start on Monday, and I'm going in on Tuesday.
Oh wow!
So I'll be singing "I Feel It in My Fingers." I feel it in my toes.
Oh, that's gonna be perfect.
So I'm having a good ride. I've got 5 kids and a grandson.
Wow.
I'm healthy.
5 kids.
I don't take any legal medications. No, I'm just kidding. I drink clean liquor.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying the weeds around here in Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland's a good one. You had a good taste of the whiskey.
It's giving me a taste.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you for taking time to speak to convention.
Okay, hey, right on.
Okay, we're here at Wicked Burners. So they specialise in log burners and fire pits. Now, I didn't expect to see something like this at a convention, so it was a pleasant surprise, to be honest. Now, it is what it says in the description. So these are all fire pits and log burners, but with a bit of a spin on them. So, I mean, I believe that I would imagine you'll agree with me here. These are spectacular. Iron Man and Boba Fett. Oh, I really love that Boba Fett one. Oh, look at it. Oh. They've just got such a selection. These are all handmade as well. Death Star. Oh, I don't know. I'd be torn between the Death Star and the Boba Fett one. Oh, TIE Fighter, TIE Fighter. Oh, I think I'd have a better... Oh, I couldn't decide on these. I really couldn't. Oh, wow. Okay. I do like coming to Comic-Cons, obviously. I love speaking to the guests, but one of my favourite things is actually coming to see the vendors as well. I mean, there's some absolutely amazing things that you can find. Log burners and fire pits, Wicked Burners. They are quite reasonably priced, I would say, as well. Looking at what you would normally pay for a wood burner. So check them out, and I can guarantee I really want one. He's looking at me. He's looking at me right there. Oh, I could have every one of these. I might, this would be my garden. Nothing but these. So please, guys, check them out. They are really, really amazing. Okay, we're just in the, well, I say we, I keep saying we. I'm just in the hall where all the vendors are, and it looks fab in here. There's some really cool things. Hopefully I'll get to speak to quite a few of the vendors this event, but it does look really, really good. I mean, there's a lot of different items on sale. I have to be good though this weekend, so I've already bought a t-shirt, so we'll see how it goes. All right. Okay, we're here with the fantastic
Melvin Snerdley here. I'm impersonating Gil Gerard today.
Gil Gerard, who is Buck Rogers. We are extremely happy to be having a word with you today.
Well, I'm extremely happy to be here today. Thank you.
So I've just got a couple of questions, if that's okay.
Sure.
First of all, what was it like working with Buster Crabbe?
It was fantastic. It was very interesting because off camera we talked a lot about my show versus his show. He was telling me about his experiences filming Buck Rogers in the late 20s and about the special effects. And he made mention of the fact that everybody thought the special effects in his day were like really the top of the heap. And he said, you know, 50 years later, everyone's laughing about them. And so he said, I wonder if in 50 years people will be saying the same thing about yours. So Buster and I became friends. We talked probably once a month or so.
Wow.
The rest of his life. And I remember one time I was watching the show, like his voice was echoing my head about the special effects. So I called him up and I said, you know what, Buster, you son of a bitch, I can't watch this show without thinking about what you said. I said, now I sit here going, do they still hold up? Are they okay? And he laughed and he said, you know, I told you. I said, well, so far I think they do.
Oh,
and from what people tell me, even today, that was many years ago. Many people tell me that even today they still hold up.
I've been asked by a fan to ask this question.
Okay.
What was it like filming the dance scene in the movie?
Well, it was interesting.
I heard a couple of things.
What did you hear?
Somebody told me about clicking, like how the music wasn't.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. There was no music when we shot the dance scene. You hear a click, that's the rhythm, it's the beat of the music. And so you time your steps to those beats, and then what they do is they put the music in later. Because if they had the music going, you couldn't hear the dialogue. It would drown out the dialogue. So this way, they do. It's a clean track, what they call a clean track, and just all they hear is the clicking, and so they get the dialogue clean, and then they add the music to it. So and then they can modulate the sound however they want to.
Right. Okay.
So unfortunately, what they did was they changed the beat of the music when we shot the movie, and I was totally out of step.
Oh wow.
But I understand, or at least looking at the DVDs or the Blu-rays that they come out with, they've changed the music back to what it was that we were, you know, the music we supposedly were shooting to.
Right.
So now I'm in step again.
Wow.
So I don't look like such a klutz. But it was interesting because we had rehearsed a whole dance sequence for about 2 weeks before, with all the extras and everything else. And then we got to the set for that shot, to do that shot. The director said, no, because we started doing it. He was like, what is that? I said, well, that's what they wanted to do. And he said, no. I want you and Ardala like face to face. And obviously what he wanted to do was save having to cover all these people, which would have taken him 3 weeks to shoot that one scene, basically, because of all the coverage he'd had to do. But if he kept us very close, then it was basically just, you know, a single and a two shot, and he's done. Much simpler than having to go around and shoot everybody in the thing.
Wow.
So he did one establishing shot of everybody, then he did us. So it changed the whole concept of the thing. So it became like this tight thing, and then I ad-lib going over and getting the guy to do the rock thing.
Right.
So, and then we did the rock thing, and so she was like looking, and so we started doing that. That's how the dance scene evolved.
Oh, wow.
From a well-rehearsed, huge kind of group thing to just the two of us dancing together.
I don't know what to say. That's an awful lot of work gone into that. With
oh yeah.
Final question.
Yes, sir.
Just in theme with the Comic-Con. What is your favourite 80s movie?
My favourite what?
80s movie. What is your favourite movie from the 80s?
Other than Buck Rogers? Let's see. You know, I couldn't tell you. I love so many of them.
Yeah.
I don't have a really great movie that I love. There's so many that I really, a lot of them are obscure.
Yeah.
A lot of them people never heard of. And I just happen on them, sometimes on a plane.
Right.
And it's like, wow, that's really a good movie. Why have I never heard of that before? You know, I just kind of look at it, the story seems interesting, so I watch it.
Right.
And what else have I got to do? I'm on a plane, right?
Yeah.
For hours. And it's, you know, I just, there's hundreds of movies that I really, really like, and I don't mind watching again and again.
Yeah.
And then there's some that I've seen once, and that was plenty. And some I've only seen half of, and that was plenty.
And that was plenty.
Yeah. But I've always found as an actor and as a director, I learn more from the bad movies than I do from the good movies.
Oh, right.
Because I get so involved with the good movies, you know, I'm watching it. I'm a fan, I'm a whatever.
Right.
I'm an audience. If it's a bad movie, I'm not attached to it.
Right.
I'm not involved in it. So I find myself able to more step back objectively and see the mistakes that were made and sort of teach myself what I wouldn't be doing in this particular scene as a director or as an actor.
Right. Okay.
So that's why I learn more from bad movies than I do from good movies. Good movies I just sit back and enjoy. Yeah.
Right.
It's like good sex, you know? You get involved, you see it, it's like, oh, who cares? I'm having a great time. But bad sex is like, well, what could I have done better?
On that note, it's been fantastic speaking to you.
Thank you.
And I'm sure all our group members of Conventions in UK will really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
And hello to everybody in the UK. It's great to be here again.
So we're here at Black Halo Design, and you, these are just out of this world. I mean, can you tell me how you've managed to create these?
They're solid rock slate, and they come. I buy the rock slate in. They're coated, and then I would put the images, the artwork, and stuff like that on them. A lot of them, most of them are my own artwork, and a lot of them are different other artwork. But what you can do is send personalised images, family photos, pets, anything you want into us. We can put them on the rock slates, canvases, mugs, ship them out within a few days. You know, any image can be added, and we can send a mock-up through of how it would look on the item before we actually ship it, just to make sure you're happy, you know, everyone's happy with it.
And you were telling me earlier as well off camera that these really take well to autographs going on them.
Yes, a lot of people would get them signed by different actors, sports personalities, that sort of thing. Right. You know, and the signatures stay on them. I've got about 12 rock slates myself.
Oh wow!
In the house, all signed through the different conventions. The wife hates them because she has to dust them. But I've got all the canvases as well, signed by all the Star Wars, you know, actors and stuff as well. But I absolutely love them myself.
See, what is this kind of effect? I've seen it on a few things.
It's a thing we do with different sort of. We've got the likes of, let's see, Venom. Get the image done, and then I put them through. Get them through Illustrator, get the designs done, and then I put the effects through them to make sure they're sort of, you know, something different.
Right. Okay.
You know, and I just love them. They can put on the canvases, everything, and there's a high gloss to them as well. And they'll last forever. And a lot of people put them outside, you know, different, you know, do memorial ones, stuff like that as well. You know, but I would suggest, you know, give them a wee UV protection spray once, twice a year, just for protection, that sort of thing, if you're putting them outside. But any images, say, can be put on them. They're high gloss, they're hard wearing, and they're great. They're great gifts.
They're amazing. I mean, look at that Flash Gordon one there. Yep. Oh. So, guys, you
placed orders with them as well.
A few actors have placed orders with you.
Done some for Sam J. Jones, Jeremy Bullock, Alan Harris. You know, quite a few different ones. You know,
that's pretty. Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, check them out. I mean, I'm a bit speechless. I mean, look at that It one over there, the Pennywise. I mean, that looks spectacular.
Just got that one done the other day.
The Star Destroyer and the TIE Fighter.
And I just love that one. That's what I do.
I like the effect with the stars as well.
Yeah.
I think that looks really cool.
Yeah, they're one of my favourite things to do.
So yeah, guys, check them out. Black Halo Design. I'll put the link in the description in the video below. We're here with Sam Jones,
Yes.
Flash Gordon himself.
Come on.
Thanks for speaking to Convention Scene UK. And before your coffee, I may add, so you know, I'll be very gentle this morning. It's only a few questions, so thanks for speaking to us. First question: being in one of the most iconic films of all time, how does that feel? I mean, you've like left an imprint on people's lives.
Oh, it's wonderful. Know this? You know, I call it the triple blessing. The first blessing is getting hired to work, you know, doing a project.
Yeah.
Because the business is so predictable that it's inconsistent.
Right.
So the first blessing is work. Second blessing is if your project does well, either TV ratings or at the box office. And the third blessing, Warren, is what we're talking about now, longevity.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. It's wonderful.
That's brilliant. One of my favourite scenes is where you play football with the guards.
Yeah.
How was that? That seemed like
wonderful.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched. I can't remember how young I was when I first watched Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
But that always sticks out in my mind.
It's a natural, because that's what I grew up playing.
Yeah,
football. Yeah.
You were a Marine as well, weren't you?
Yeah, still am.
You still are. You're a Marine for life.
Yeah.
I thought your appearance in Ted was
funny. Yeah.
Out of this world. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, that is amazing. That's perfect. Oh, I love it. So, I mean, what's next for Sam Jones?
A lot of great things are happening. We did 6 films the past year and a half.
Wow.
So they'll be out next year.
All right.
Independent. Of course, one was, life story, my life, part of my life, called Life After Flash, a documentary.
Oh, wow.
And then another film called Accelerator. I played the hitman.
Oh, that's it, is it?
Yeah, that's it. And then another comedy, a psychological thriller, another comedy.
All in a year and a half.
And then a true story called Silent Natural, about the first deaf Major League Baseball player in America in the 1880s. And I played the father.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I played the overprotective father. And so it's wonderful.
All in a year and a half.
Well, it's 18 months. I think John Wayne used to do a movie every couple of weeks.
Oh, Jesus. Well, it's been great speaking to you. Thanks for giving me a few minutes of your time. Right. And we'll hopefully get to see you again soon.
Thank you, Warren.
Okay guys, we're here with Zach Galligan. He played Billy out of Gremlins 1 and 2.
That's right, yeah.
I mean, thanks for speaking to Convention Scene UK.
Sure.
Few questions. First question. Gremlins being as iconic 80s film as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
How did you like going from the very first Gremlins to where it was more kind of like a horror based, to the more comedy based sequel of Gremlins 2? How did you find that film in that? I mean, I love them both, and I'm sure a lot of people do.
Well, I've gone on record many times as saying that I'm a big fan of the first one. The second one is, you know, really interesting movie. I'm more of a fan of, like, I'm a horror fan, and I like comedy, but I like horror, you know, with a dash of comedy. Right. And that was comedy with a dash of horror. So even when we were doing it, I was kind of like, are you sure you want to do this? But, you know, it's really Joe Dante's movie, and it's like a giant cartoon. That's what he likes. He's cartoons are his thing. So Gremlins 2 is like a gigantic, you know, cartoon version of Mad Magazine come to life. And as far as that's concerned, it's very successfully done. It's just not my cup of tea. I prefer the first one.
You prefer the first one?
I do.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, I'm going to ask you this now. I would expect to say Gizmo. Your favourite Gremlin?
Gizmo?
Not including Gizmo. Out of both?
I kind of like the brain Gremlin a lot.
Oh yeah.
I think he's it's a pretty remarkable special effect that Rick Baker designed and executed. Yeah. Tony Randall did a great job with the voice. Big fan of that one.
Really worked well with that.
Really well, yeah.
So okay.
Yeah.
And I follow you on Twitter. You probably get asked this a lot.
Okay.
Gremlins 3.
Well, it's written. It's just a question of whether Warner Brothers wants to use this script and pull the trigger and finally make it, or whether they go, meh, we don't really like this script, and then they just kind of, you know, discard it and start from scratch again. I mean, I think they want to do it, but it's, you know, it's a big investment. It's going to be a couple of $100 million in order to do it correctly. So they have to, I think they kind of have to be in love with the script. And I don't know whether they are or not. I don't know.
I mean, in my opinion, I don't know if you agree, I would definitely say practical effects over computer generated.
Well, you know, that's the big dilemma, and it has been the big dilemma for years, which is the CGI is just much more, it's just much cheaper, or as they like to say, cost effective. So they're going to want to save money because it's, you know, it's not show friends, it's not show art, it's show business. Yeah. So they're going to want to save money, and the creative people are going to want to do, you know, what looks better. And
but I don't always see that computer generated images look better. I mean, I couldn't imagine seeing Gizmo. I couldn't imagine Gizmo being.
What I'm saying is the creative people want to do it the correct way, and the bean counters want to do it the cheap way. Right. And that's where you have art and commerce going kabang. Yeah. And that's the way it's been. That's been the main sticking point for 15 years.
Are you getting regular updates on Gremlins 3?
Sort of. I mean, I have a little group of people who are associated with Warner Brothers, kind of keeps me up to date on it. But quite honestly, most of what I hear, I read about on the internet like everybody else, just like you do.
Right, okay.
So people, I'll wake up sometimes and be like, have you read the Gremlins article? I'm like, bloody hell, you know, and then I go and I look and I'm like, okay, now it's Gremlins 3. Oh, now it's a reboot. Now it's a remake. So I never believe anything until I get a call from them saying, are you available to work, you know, August to October, and then I take it seriously.
Then you take it seriously. All right, well, thanks for answering the questions for Convention Scene UK. We've got a lot of fans on the group that will love to heard your interview.
Thank you.
And thank you very much.
Cheers.
Apparently this is what all the stars and all the guests have been drinking this week. I love my gins. I've heard it's fantastic. So Brentingby gin, it's called. It doesn't sound right coming from an Englishman, to be honest. It sounds much better with the Scottish accent. So definitely check them out. I'll put the details in the description below.
Okay, so today we are speaking to a personal hero of mine. As you could probably tell, I'm a bit shaky speaking to him. It's the incredible Lou Ferrigno. Thank you for speaking to Convention Scene UK. I just wanted to ask, you've worked, you were first of all obviously a bodybuilder, and you did such work as...
what are you shaking for?
Because it's you!
Of course, I'm going to make you wonder.
Yeah!
Anyway, relax.
I've wanted to meet you for so long. I really wanted. I'm gobsmacked I'm talking to you. But yeah, so I mean, going from being a bodybuilder to being on Pumping Iron to Incredible Hulk, how did that happen? Had you had any acting experience before then?
No, I never acted before. When I did Pumping Iron, I liked being in front of the camera. So when the Hulk came along to the audition, I felt it was my chance to get into acting. I went for the audition, and 24 hours later, I was playing the Hulk.
Right, okay. And then you going from Pumping Iron, you went straight to Hercules, was it?
No, that was Hercules after the Hulk, after I finished the series.
Ah, right, yeah, sorry, I got my dates wrong there. But I also, like when, obviously, I'm a big fan of the Marvel universe, of course. I had no idea that you actually voiced the Hulk in that. And again, I just find that mind-boggling. I mean, do you like the fact that they asked you to continue with the role, to bring some level of continuity to the character?
Well, it's CGI. Everybody knows me from the series, but I've done over 40 films, 5 TV series. So I'll probably voice the Hulk on the next one, but everybody knows they quickly relate to me because it's CGI, but they all learn about the original series, all 3 generations.
Right, okay. Last question, if that's okay. So you've been involved in a few comedies, appearing as yourself. I particularly find you hilarious in I Love You Man, especially getting Jason in that sleeper hold, as well as King of Queens. Out of all the people you've met working on such comedies, who's really made you laugh? Who's really just naturally made you just laugh out loud?
Oh yeah, because I'm very funny in real life, and that's why they want to know if I can play myself. So I did a movie with Rodney Dangerfield and Dom DeLuise called, what's the name to it? Like a movie, I think it was called All's Fair, and they produced King of Queens. So my performance, they invited me to be a neighbor on the show. And because it's very successful, it became a recurring role for 7 years. But then John Hamburg approached me about being in the movie I Love You Man. Right. It's about romance and bromance. I read the script, I liked it, so they said, why not? But that sleeper hold, one of the most famous scenes, because a lot of people come to conventions, they think we'll be in this sleeper hold. Yeah.
I mean, it is one of my favourite films. Normally there's my wife here as well that would get to meet, and unfortunately she's gutted she can't meet you today. So thank you for speaking to Convention Scene UK, and we'll hopefully see you again very soon.
Thank you.
Guys, I am now here at the Art of Fish. I love that name. I really do love that name. That is very impressive. And here is the man himself. And I've got to say, I mean, some of these pieces of work are amazing. All original work of it, yeah. I mean, look at them at the back. Oh, autofocus, lighting in here is horrendous. Oh, I can never remember the Jigsaw. Not the Jigsaw character. What's the? Is it Billy?
I think it is, yeah.
I can never remember the name of it. Oh, the Pennywise one seemed really cool. Oh, look at that. David Hasselhoff signed. I can see here. And Rex Smith, of course. Oh, these are just. I don't know what to say about that Hulk one.
I actually gave one of them as a gift to David Hasselhoff. I mean, to Lou Ferrigno yesterday. Yeah.
Did you give it?
I just give it him for free. I just wanted him to be happy with it.
That is awesome. I mean, you've got such a huge collection of work, and everything's original here. You're all your own work, isn't it? Okay. I mean, I like these. What would you call the frames at the bottom?
I don't know.
The long frames.
The long frames, the 5-piece frames.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get down there. Oh. Anything with Boba Fett, anything Star Wars. I'm all over that. Oh, and another Hasselhoff. I like how you've got a lot of pieces signed. I didn't even check. I didn't even get the Lou Ferrigno one on. That, I think that is my favourite, right there. But yeah, guys, check them out. They're really, really good, good work. I'll pop the details in the description below. We're here with Ray Parker Jr.
I'm Ray Parker Jr. After all, who you gonna call?
Thank you for speaking to Convention Scene UK.
Yeah.
Just got a few questions.
Sure,
That's
a
okay?
few questions is good.
Right. Is this your first UK con that you've done, Comic-Con?
This is my first any Comic-Con.
Any Comic-Con?
Yeah, this is the first time I've been at a Comic-Con.
Wow. I see. I had it in my head that you'd maybe done a US one as well.
No.
How have you
So
felt?
I didn't know what to expect. I'm just here, and Andy's teaching me the ropes. I think he's doing the honorable thing, right? And you teaching me honorably how to do these things. And I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a newbie. Yeah.
Have you had fun?
I'm having a great time. Yeah, the weather's been great. And for me, every time I leave the restaurant, it doesn't rain. So I'm walking. Then it rains after I get in the restaurant back to the hotel. So I mean,
you see, it's the opposite for me.
Yeah.
Every time I walk.
They like me in Scotland. I'm having a good time here.
Is this the first time to Scotland?
Yes.
Oh wow.
It's first time in Scotland. So I'm having a great time.
Do you like it?
Yeah. Yes.
I love Edinburgh, especially the castle at night.
It's really pretty. Yeah.
How does it feel to have a worldwide #1 hit with Ghostbusters?
Oh, it's been a while, but you know what? It feels great because it's #1 all the time. All the kids, 5, 6, 7 years old, or even 3 years old, they love the song.
All the school discos.
It seems like it's a hit every year for me. You know?
Exactly.
So it's wonderful.
It always comes out. They had it. I mean, I was at my daughter's disco at her school. She's only just turned 5. Yeah. They played it there.
They played the song.
And I was telling her, I'm meeting you today, the person who sings it. So she was extremely happy about that.
Yeah.
And finally, which is your favourite Ghostbusters film? That includes the new version, and why?
Okay, so my favorite Ghostbusters film is the first one because they play Who You Gonna Call really loud, and I remember all the kids in the movie theater screaming Ghostbusters, and I think they need to do that again in some of the future films. I think people like to scream that word. They like to say it. You know?
I was really hoping that they would have made a Ghostbusters 3. I mean, that would have been amazing, I think.
Well, they did do Ghostbusters 3. That's the one that just came out.
I mean, with the original cast, I know obviously.
With the original cast. Well, some of those guys are older now.
Yeah, but you could get in on that.
I like to get in on it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Have me as one of the Ghostbusters. Yeah. But I don't know if they'll get all the original 4 guys. Well, one
passed away, hasn't he?
So I don't know. But maybe they should like own the company and let their kids do it or something, you know?
Well, Dan Aykroyd's been after doing one for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah,
but it's up in the air a lot.
They could be the administrative group, but they could be arguing with the young kids. That ain't how you do it. This is how we did in our day. And then the young kids got their own way and want to do it. You know?
I was kind of hoping for that kind of cameo in the new one, which
that
was
would have
unfortunate.
been nice. Yeah, that would be fun.
Well, thank you for speaking to Convention Scene UK.
Thanks, guys, for having me here, and I'm Ray Parker Jr. having a great time.
But the theme of Knight Rider is one man can make a difference, right? Well, you made a difference. You made a difference in my life because you made a difference. One man, one woman, one person can make a difference. It's probably going to be the new title because you made a difference in my life, and hopefully I can make a little bit of difference in yours. Ray Parker just made a difference in my life because he told me that they never thought Ghostbusters was going to be a hit. So he retained all the publishing. They thought Knight Rider was going to be a flop. And I got the script, and the script was glowing in my hands. And I couldn't believe how great it was. And I called my dad and I said, Dad, I was on a series called The Young and the Restless. Right? And I quit because I wanted to go to Broadway, and along comes Knight Rider, and it lands in my lap, and I said, Dad, it's a great script. He said, what's it about? I said, it's about a talking car. And my dad says, have you been drinking?